Hi everyone, I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access Television, inviting you to one of our candidates interview. Right now, Nick Shontz is with me, and he is a candidate for Ward 6.
That's true.
Nick, thanks so much for taking the time to respond to these questions.
Thank you.
I would just want to enjoin everyone who's watching to please vote in this election. One of the ways you can tell if you're in line to vote is the mail-in ballot. So this will be a mail-in ballot election. They'll be mailed out October the 16th. So if you don't receive a mail-in ballot, please contact Missoula County Elections Office. Here's the phone number, 531-4026. And if you need to contact them through email, the website we showed you at the beginning of the interview clip is Missoula County /elections. Anyway, Nick, thanks again. Are you ready for your questions? Everybody was asked the same thing, and here's Nick Shontz, who's a candidate for Ward 6. Here's your first question. What inspired you to seek office?
Well, first, thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. Thanks for coming over.
I have been really involved in my neighborhood leadership team for the last 5 or 6 years. In that team, we work with neighbors to get sidewalks improved or to try to, get funding for trail lighting. So just trying to make our neighborhood better. And since then, I've been part of a community forum where everybody from the neighborhoods comes together and talks about sort of citywide issues. And through those experiences, like really getting to work with neighbors, I found that that's something I really enjoy.
Yeah.
My dad was in the state legislature in Montana in the 80s, and my grandmother was a justice of the peace in Minnesota many, many years ago. Yeah. And so they sort of instilled in me a spirit of service. Like, I feel like we're all a little obligated to make our community a better place. And Missoula has been really good to me and my family. So I'm just trying to, pay it forward a little bit.
Oh, nice. And how have you campaigned? What stuff did you do to get out there?
Well, it's pretty grassroots first. Just like talking with neighbors about issues, and then I've knocked a lot of doors. I'm sure you will hear that a lot.
I've heard.
Knocking a lot of doors, and participating in things like this, participating in the forums put on by the League of Women's Voters and the neighborhood office. There's a Missoula Downtown Association forum tomorrow, and a Montpert forum next week. So knocking doors, going to forums, going to events, and just trying to talk to as many people about how they feel about Missoula as possible.
And there's the segue. What did you learn while we were campaigning? What's on everybody's mind?
It's amazing, and I feel like in Missoula, we live in such a wonderful place. And the things that I've been hearing from the folks when I'm knocking doors are sidewalks, traffic, the speed of that traffic and that kind of that infrastructure flow. Listening to my, the other folks that are running, they hear a lot about taxes. And I definitely have heard about taxes, but predominantly for us, it's been some of those day-to-day sidewalk connectivity issues. And so that's what I've been hearing. So I've been learning a lot about those issues. I participated in the local Government Citizens Academy, which is a great opportunity to learn about all the things Missoula does and learn all the things you don't know that the city of Missoula does.
Oh, right.
So that's been really fun. We went on the radio on KVGO to try to, just talk about issues. And we took some callers and people talk about traffic patterns on the 5th and 6th. So I think those are the things that I've been hearing about the most. And to try to communicate with folks and get the word out.
And here's question 3. What is the biggest challenge you would like to help Missoulians overcome?
The biggest challenge? I think that making Missoula more affordable is the number one issue. And I think that's a combination of, property taxes, of course, childcare, housing costs. And I think, our economy, like creating jobs, promoting jobs that let you, live here in Missoula and pay for all those things. So, I've talked a lot about things like I think we need to do a tourist tax, and we need to work with our partners at the state to allow us to recoup some of that revenue from folks that, want to come to our town and appreciate it. And I have, I worked for the university for a little over 11 years. And one of the things I think that the city and the university could do is work together and find ways to put together some sort of child care program, especially in the summers. Campuses may be a little underused, and parents need places, camps to send their kids. So how can we facilitate some of those conversations? I've been a big proponent of Missoula Economic Partnership, trying to promote, local businesses like Submittable and Luminad and Onyx Maps. These are, tech companies that are, bringing people to Missoula but paying real wages and really trying to promote those folks. And then bringing in people like ClassPass, companies that, suddenly there's 100 new jobs in Missoula. And, promoting those kinds of entities, I think will, boost our job market, and that will help everything. But then tackling some of these other issues, like the Missoula Housing Plan that they just adopted. I think in the next 5 or 10 years, the devil is going to be in the details of how we implement that plan. And I am really looking forward to participating in that, using data to make good decisions and working with peer communities and seeing how they've tackled some of these things. So, that's sort of a long-winded, I think.
Yeah, well, that's
making
pretty
Missoula
good.
affordable, and sort of a multi-pronged approach to that.
And what are some of the, and it sounds like you've enumerated some of them, but what are some of the great opportunities City Council can help people realize?
Yeah, I think communication is a big one. We need to communicate about all the things that are happening in Missoula. Like I said, the housing plan, we need, as those policies get implemented, we need to communicate why, what the issues are and how they're being discussed, and the sort of like the details around them. I think that making Missoula affordable is, I think, huge. I think we have a lot of opportunity there. We can continue to promote real growth. We can find ways to improve, childcare costs. There's just so many things with that sort of as the mission, I think, that will make Missoulians that live here and have lived here for 20 or 30, 40 years continue to be able to live here and love it, and welcome folks that want to move here.
Yeah. That is an element. When people live for a while and there's all these new people. It's not the town I grew up in.
Right.
I hear that a lot. And here you go. You got the last question, which is closing remarks.
Yeah.
Your choice. You have all the time in the world.
All right.
You don't have to use it.
I have been in Missoula for 17 years. I have, like I said, been a part of my neighborhood leadership team and community forum. I volunteered with scouting. I volunteered with the food bank. I have volunteered with the Missoula business community, trying to be a mentor and coach to upcoming entrepreneurs. And I feel like this is just an opportunity for me to do a little bit more. I left the university and I started my own business, and that gave me some flexibility in my sort of time during the day. Yeah. And so it just made a lot of sense to me. Like, I can do more. I can help Missoula, continue to improve. And so, like, that's my goal here, is to just try to, make Missoula the place that, I want my kid to want to stay. And then I want my, parents to want to move when they're ready to retire. The other thing that's sort of amazing about Missoula is, like, we're growing. You've seen all this growth downtown. Like you said, the new libraries coming in. We've got Rome. We've got, breweries opening. The new, hotels, like, the market, the developers are investing in our town, and that's something we should really celebrate. We just have to make sure that folks who've lived here can still survive and thrive, while also welcoming that development, like that growth. It seems to me like the market in general believes in Missoula, and I do too. I think it's a great place. I've co-founded a business here in Missoula, and that's been a wonderful experience. I have, at the University of Montana for 10 plus years, worked on managing and budgeting and strategic planning. And those experiences have, laid a great framework for me to be able to be successful on City Council. I've been working to make Missoula better. I just want to continue and expand on that work.
Great, Nick. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you.
And thank you, dear viewer, for taking the time to learn a little bit more about the issues. As we've stressed, these elections that are in between the big ones often suffer from a lack of participation. So please look in the mail for your mail-in ballot. If you need more help, I'm going to ask Neil to show that website. Missoula County Elections Office is handling the city council elections this year. So they're the people you want to talk to if you anticipate a problem or you don't find you have a mail-in ballot after, say, October 17th through the 20th, 21st. If you need to, you can call 531-4026. That's the elections office, and figure out how you can participate in this, our local democracy. Well, for MCAT, I'm Joel Baird. Thanks for watching.